Hey everybody, Engineer Coffee, welcome back to Mars. Last episode we built a couple landing pads and this control tower here on our apartment complex. I think turned out really cool. I did end up mirroring it on the other side, got a projector up there on the roof, and got it here on this side here. So I think it turned out pretty good. We'll probably put like a medical station, hospital on one of them, and that'll be like a med bay landing pad, and maybe a security office somewhere as well. And then I'm sure one of them will be like an executive landing pad for the rich people that don't want to take the train. Yeah, so this episode though, I want to get working on the elevator, because that is what these areas here are supposed to be. Is up this way and up this way is going to be an elevator. I don't know if I'll come up to like this top floor or we come up to this floor here. I haven't really decided where we're going to go, and it all kind of depends on how it kind of eats into the station and how that looks. So let's go ahead and just get started. Alright, I think I forgot this part last video, so I'm not exactly sure where I left off, but thank you to the new members. We got Stick Monkey, Nathan Brown, Little Gumpy, Justin, Enoch, Prophet Thrawn, Andrew, Evan, Orsel 305, Iron Helix, and Captain No Name. So thank you for your support. If you'd like to join, there should be a button down below. Unless you're on iOS, then you got to do it from a browser. It's a whole thing. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get started. Go this way. Alright, we'll go ahead and start on this side of the building for no particular reason other than it has a little bit more room in the basement before we have to dig out. I'm going to go ahead and place these blocks. They're in set 1, just like we did over on the side where the orange skylight windows are over here. So it'll kind of mimic that, but on the inside. We'll come up to, well, maybe not there. That'll be different, because this will be coming across like this. I guess here can be this guy for the transition. Okay, we'll replace these with those detailed floor blocks eventually, but that would be where it comes out. I was thinking maybe like a 3x3 elevator, and we maybe replace that one with glass. So this would be our elevator spot here, but I'm not really sure what to do with the side, because this is going to be open, so we need to somehow seal it off. So this wall is kind of sacrificed. So I have just like a one space around the elevator that I could do something with. I guess I could do like Willis ducts or something, but it seems like a huge waste of space. Alright, I've been thinking about it, and I think what I'm going to do is grind this guy out and this guy out, and we're going to have 2 elevators, so we're going to make 4 elevators total, which I think makes sense. You can have one going up and one going down to service the apartments. I think that would make more sense, actually. Alright, then I'm thinking glass like this, so we can kind of see the inside. I know it's like more glass than I normally use. I use more of the smaller stuff, but being that it's on the inside here, I think it would be fairly protected. So I'm okay with that. Okay, so that works out there. So we could either have glass on each floor, or we can come up fully with glass, like this. I can't really see anything with the wireframe. We'll have to maybe get that welded up and then we'll take a look. Alright, I'm standing here looking at this, and if we want the elevator to be as big as possible, we should probably go with the glass the whole way, because then we can get really close to it. Because if I'm coming down here at an angle, I'm going to hit this block right here. So I don't think we want to go with this method. We're just going to do glass the entire way. That just get us into trouble here. Okay, glass potentially there. Do we want to go any further than that? That's a heavy armor block. That's not really what I wanted. Those storms ending. Okay, we could go like that. I don't know if we want to go all the way up to the top. Yeah, because they're going to converge at this point, which is, that's too much. We may be able to come right here, though. Let's get rid of these guys real quick. So that's potentially fine right there. I mean, the train still goes through. Looks a little awkward. Alright, that's not so bad. What do we want to do here? You know what? We could do this a little bit different, maybe. Yeah, it doesn't look so bad. I'm good with that. And that'll allow us to get the elevator like as close to this glass as possible and come up this way, all the way up to the landing pad floor. That'll be good. Alright, well let me get this side filled in as well, and maybe we'll get it welded up. Alright, that looks pretty cool. That looks very elevator-like. I am good with that. Okay, let's go ahead and work on the mechanism on the inside. Actually, let's lay out the door first, where we want this guy to be. Seems a little narrow. Plus it'll be at an angle, so maybe one back? Like that? Thinking for the door, we'll probably go with the 2x. Let's see, we can't do that one because we're going to have another one on the other side, so we'll do this one. Well, then we might as well just bring it back another spot here. Might as well have that the floor. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, that'll be good. It'll be almost 3... Yeah, almost 3 wide. We're going to have to come back in a couple blocks, so that will work. I like that. Alright, so we want the elevator mechanism to be 2x1 to follow the slope of this glass and stuff. So I'm thinking we'll put the mechanism, or at least like the mount, halfway in between here, so we can get both elevators at once off of one subgrid. So let's go ahead and just do this. I think this will work. We don't want to go any higher than that because that's going to be the floor for the next part. Okay, so I think right here is where I'm going to put it. Let's get hinge in here. Okay, we'll add a small head. Okay, and then we need to get the slope correct. So we'll just go ahead and use the internet for a 2x1 slope. Okay, so it is 26.565. I don't know how many decimals we need. Okay, there we go. And then we should be able to... Oh, this is going to be a pain to weld. Let's see, what color do we want that? Probably black. Oh, I can stand on that, good. I'm just going to carry this guy all the way down to the bottom, and then we'll use it as our mechanism for our pistons. Let's go ahead and see if this is going to work out, though. Well, we're definitely off-center, but we can get... Oh, 3 wide there. So this guy will just carry like that. Okay, there we go. Let's see, down here at the bottom, is that going to be down far enough? Let's see. Oh, we got a space of 2 on either side of this. Okay. Alright, I think I've got an idea for the mechanism, but let's go ahead and put in a floor real quick. Oh, that's not exactly where I thought it was going to be. I might have to come down one more. Okay, there we go. That's the floor, and then we're going to put a mag plate. There we go. That should attach. Can we get away with sloping it? Ooh, we can. There we go. There we go. That should work. Let's get rid of all this so I can get the welder ship in here. Yeah, there we go. It'll be secure. That actually looks really good. I was worried we'd be off like a decimal by the time we got down here. It was going to be weird, but that looks still pretty parallel and like the same gap. Alright, nice. Back up the hill we go. Let's get this guy up before we weld. Okay, there we go. I do want to put some supports in every once in a while, so yeah, that'll work. At the base of each one of these, we're going to put in a couple blocks for support. Alright, there we go. I like it. We got some supports in there. Now I want to get a blast door. That'll be the mount for the piston. Now I could probably do this out of large grid pistons, would probably be easier, but getting it sloped and getting the mechanism in here, I think it's going to take up way too much space. I either got to dig way down, but I think I can utilize this space, and I think we'll be fine. Okay, there we go. That took a while. Let's see, I don't need that piece. Okay, I want to get that welded up before we get too crazy. Alright, can we get so lucky to squeeze in here before I have to spin around? No, I don't have to go outside the building, that's good. Oh, there's just a piece in there that's white. It's throwing me off. I thought it wasn't welding. Alright, did that get everything? For the most part. Okay, then we're gonna climb up with some pistons. Yeah, see, I was afraid of that. Now I can't place this guy, which maybe I can. Let's get him welded up, and then maybe we can share inertial tensors. Alright, now that I have shared inertial tensors on, is it gonna wanna... No. Perhaps if we reverse one of these and then reverse it back, it'll get into place? Okay, there we go. We continue on. Let's see, we only want to go like a third of the way up, right? Because these guys extend Because they take up 2 blocks and then they go another, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks high. Alright, so we want to stop about right there, I think, with the pistons. It's probably going to be more than enough. You know, I think 20 is probably fine. And then what we can do is wrap around. We're going to wrap around with a block like this. And then we can come back down. I'm going to use these conveyors because they kind of have a clearance around them, so that's good. Okay, there we go. We got pistons going all the way back down here. I don't think we want to go any further because it's going to be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it'll put it like right down in here, and then I've got to switch it back. And I don't want it to get accidentally stuck to that landing gear. Let's not do that. Okay, so then the floor is right here, so we can get some pistons to go back up. Yeah, I can't seal it off, but it's tempting to do something like this on the other side. Just to get some stability. Because like if I put this guy here, I have to seal in this guy. Oh no, I can't get a block in there. This guy's in the way. I was thinking I could get a piece of glass in there. I think I could get a block in there like that. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to change that up and I'm going to put some glass on the inside here. I think that'll be good. That'll help us out a lot. Well, until we get to here. Oh yeah, I don't think that looks too bad. It's too bad we can't get like super gridding, because it would be nice to be able to put that block back there, but that's alright. Alright, there we go, I like it. Hopefully that'll act as a guide rail for this guy as the elevator goes up. Let's probably make it not look like trash. Alright, so we want 63.435. There we go. Okay, and we're below. Actually, we're pretty well flush, actually. Okay, that worked out really well. Don't know exactly how the elevator platform is going to look. And then I guess if we need to, we can put another piston system on this side, just like this one. But I'm hoping we can get away with not doing that. Alright, there we go. Got some temporary button panels, control panels, so we can access these pistons. Alright, got a reverse button here for the pistons. Let's go ahead and see. I guess we can go all the way out to the ceiling. Well, I don't have that guide rail on, though. Let's give it a try. Okay, that's still pretty fast. Are we tall enough? Oh, are we barely reaching? Oh, okay, we're actually a little bit too tall. Okay, good. We can come down just a little. Oh, it's running into this.
Inventory full.
Okay, it does go even taller. It is very wobbly. I'm wondering if I should go back to just having a piston. A large piston, because that's a lot of small pistons. Oh, decisions. Because otherwise I'm going to have to dig down quite a bit. Even if I, switch back, I only have, a 2x3 area to work in. Okay, well I went ahead and put pistons on this side as well to see if it would make it a little bit more stable, and it still kind of has that bounce. As we go up and down, it still kind of bounces around. I mean, it stabilizes eventually, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to go with this. It's definitely complex, and it's definitely going to take a lot to build the other 3. I'm kind of tempted to just go switch back to large pistons. I think I might do that. Yeah, that's just a little too... It's a little too unstable. And then by the time we get to the top, it gets very wobbly. I do love this mechanism, though. It looks really cool, and I'm going to be kind of sad to see it go, but I think for stability and smoothness of the elevator, let's go ahead and do large pistons. Alright, well, mulligan. Let's start this over. So these guys need to come down like this. I kind of angled it weird because this is the angle on the outside of the building, so we don't want to mess with that. So that will be our space. We want to come down. I think we'll probably only just come down one side, because I can't really do a switchback like this with the big piston, because we don't really have that much space. So we're just going to go way deep into the ground and get as many pistons as we need. And I guess we're going up 6 floors. Alright, so our floors are 4 blocks apart, which is 1 piston length. And we're just going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So, and then we're going to be at an angle, though, so we should probably have at least 6 pistons. So we're going to have to come down a depth where we get 6 pistons and the hinges before we hit this level. So we're going to have to go down pretty deep. All right, I think I've gone deep enough. I might have gone too deep. I don't know. Because let's see, we need to come up to here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, no, that should be fine. Because 12 should be our pistons, and then we need hinge and hinge. So I think that's good. All right, then our lower limit needs to be negative 26.565. There we go. And then we can add a bunch of pistons on top. Well, just 6. All right, 6 plus another hinge to go this way. Well, let's see. And this lower limit will be the negative 26.565. All right, well, let me get this stuff welded up, and then we'll probably just grind this guy off and have a small or medium head on it. Okay, well, I just realized, too, I gotta extend this shaft all the way down to have it pressurized. Otherwise, this elevator will not have any air in it. So I'm gonna have to, yeah, flesh out this entire elevator shaft. So that's gonna be kind of annoying, but, get it done. I guess I didn't need to go quite so low.
Energy low.
Did I dig too deep? I wonder if I can get away with, like, putting a mag plate. Well, how would I get it in there? Okay, I can get one there. Then can I just put, like, a block? There we go, like that. And then I can grind this guy off. And then could I attach... well, that's where it would be, is right there. Nope, just gonna have to redo it. Okay, there we go. 6 comes all the way up to there. I think that's going to be good. Can we get away with... No, that's going to be too high. We'll just use half blocks there to fill that in. But other than that, that's alright. Maybe we won't have this here. We'll just do these ones instead. So they actually kind of float in. I think that'll be better. And then we can actually get this elevator out further. Or at least closer to the window. Now I'm not sure if I want to do like a full block, you know, something angled like this to be flush against the wall, or if we want to like leave a gap and just do like this. I'm thinking we'll do this, leave a little bit of a gap just in case, so we don't see sparks and stuff flying around. Maybe here we can do a full. No, it still won't let us actually. Well, that answers that question. We can't get it there anyway, so we'll do a half block. And we'll just have to mind the gap a little bit. Alright, then I guess here on these 3 we just need to put those ones in so they actually fit around. And then this will just fill in with normal blocks, and maybe we'll put some lights or pipes or something. I'm sure we can come up with some other blocks. Alright, there we go. Got some temporary button panels on here so we can get our floors adjusted. So we know this was pretty much 0.1. Well, it looks like it'd go a little bit higher, actually. So what we want to do is let's set this as the first floor. Why not? Or we'll do a set and move, and we're going to do all the pistons at once. So 0.1 divided by 6, which is 0.166 repeating. So let's do 0.17, 0.017, and see if that gets us just a little bit more height. The speed of 0.2, maybe? Yeah, there we go. That brought us up to a pretty good height. I like it. And let's see, we're going to go up 4 blocks, but we're going to do it at a 2x1 slope. So let me do a little calculating here. The next floor is 10 meters tall, 4 blocks. That would be the vertical distance, but we want the hypotenuse, which I guess is, yeah, it would be 10 by 5. So that would be 5 root 5 is what that's going to be, which is like 11 point something. Divided by 6. It looks like each floor is going to be 1.863 difference. Alright, so I think I've got the values for the next 5 floors. So let's go ahead and get elevator B again. Do a set and move. This one's going to be 1.88. I'll do the 0.2 speed again. I guess I should put floors in there, but these are temporary anyway. That should do it. Let's go ahead and hit floor number 2 and see where we go. Yeah, it's much smoother than the other one. Perfect. Still a little bit wobbly, just sitting here. I wonder... Yeah, it's stable when it moves, but otherwise not. I wonder if it's like what Splitsy was seeing with, we got too much pork on this thing. I think we're just gonna have this twitch where we just kind of twitch across. This looks actually pretty stable. Yeah, it's not moving really. It's us. It's the character that's moving. Okay, so floor number 2. That seemed to work really good. Yay, math. Okay, beautiful. I don't have any other doors set up, I guess, so we've got that going for us. This feels a little slow, though. 0.2 might not be the speed. Oh yeah, and I guess we're up a block. This only goes up 3 blocks, huh? 1, 2, 3, yeah. Okay. So our airlock here is actually 3 blocks. Maybe we'll make it 4. Maybe we'll put the elevator right where it is. Yeah, maybe we'll have the elevator come up to this point and we'll just have the airlock go up some stairs. I think that might make more sense. I don't think I want to redo out here, do I? No, I mean, I guess I could have it ramp up before we get into the door, but... Nah, that just doesn't feel right. We'll leave the door where it is. Okay, I doubled the speed here for number 1. Let's see how that feels. Oh, that's much better. Yeah, let's go with 0.4. That feels a lot better. Okay, so here is the elevator. I'm going to put in some temporary blocks here so we can get how we want the actual elevator platform to look. I don't really want like a closed carriage that has doors and all that stuff because we'd have to worry about the slope and that would be annoying. So I think we'll just do a more industrial looking cage. Maybe we should cut it back to here? Actually, door-wise, we don't even need this piece here. Yeah, we're still kind of scraping right there on the tip. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking I might do a hinged ramp. Here. We'll do some type of mechanism to have a ramp fold down, then it'll kind of turn into the railing. So this might have to go again. I guess having that exposed is not the end of the world. Yeah, there we go. Something like that. We wouldn't have to come up a full ramp. Just kind of angled like that, I think is good. Get away with that one. Doubt it. No, that one works. Cool. Okay, there we go. I like it. That looks pretty good. Alright, well, OBS crashed. I'm not sure exactly where we left off, but I got the elevator car done, I think. We might put some lights and stuff on it. It looks a little... I mean, it's industrial, but it might be too industrial, but we'll complete the shaft out and we'll see kind of how we feel about it. But yeah, I also got some of this floor done, just to kind of carry on to the rest of the apartment. This will be another section for another apartment module. And then I've got this kind of floor space for something, I don't know. Maybe some type of shop or newspaper stand or something. I don't know what to put in there, but it seemed like a waste of space to not put some type of building into it. So I think I'll tear this guy apart and we'll get another elevator in. Obviously we got the other side to do, but I want to get the other side in here and then maybe do some programming on the elevator. All right, well, I got the other elevator shaft done and I think I've got it pressurized down here. Well, I guess you can't see it from that side. Got it pressurized down here that hopefully we are airtight now when we get the rest of the elevator shaft done. And I think I'm going to continue this gap on so you can see the elevators passing by each other. I think that'll be kind of cool. But I didn't build the car because I'm not totally in love with this thing. We'll see. I'm not sure about it still. But for the programming side of it, I'm thinking about doing it a little bit different than I did for like my lunar video, the 5,000 subscriber video. I had that one where you just, you push the button and you go to that floor. Right now I just have that extend. We would just go to each floor, but I'm wondering if we can program it that like we could hit multiple floors. Like I could hit, floor 2, floor 4, and floor 5, and it would stop at each location, like stop for like 15 seconds or something before it moves on. I would like to program that. And then what I'm thinking is because we have 2 of them, as one goes up, the other one can go down and they can flip-flop spaces. That might be easier, and then you always have like an elevator at the top and an elevator at the bottom to make travel a little bit speedier. So it'll take a little bit complex programming, but I think that'll be fun. So for now, let's go ahead and get some more floors in. Maybe not all this detail, but at least we'll get the doors in probably, so we kind of have some stops of where they're going to go. It's probably just easier just to build each one of these floors and then rotate them. It's difficult for me to find the exact rotation most of the time. Once I find it, I might as well keep it. Alright, if I get a sensor right there, can I... let's get a retract in here. Then that guy out, is it going to catch? No. Good. Okay. Then we can actually put sensors on the floors for lights and other things, so that's good. That'll work still. All right, now how do we want to handle this? Because this could go down technically like this. But do we want to cover up that door mechanism? Makes it look a little tight, right? And then when this guy comes up, well, we'd have to put the ramp up. I mean, technically it's okay. It just feels a little claustrophobic there. Alright, new plan. I think this looks pretty good. We're going to have this center spire structure here. I think that'll look good. We can always grind it off too and make it thicker. Might end up doing that because... Where's my piece? If we do it like this, the thickness would match the exterior of the building with these guys, because these guys are side by side with a block in between. So we could do that. Where the heck am I? Here we go. Here, and really thicken that out. But I think it's probably fine being a little bit thinner. It's on the inside of the building. Yeah, and then we can have this pipe go across. That'll cover up our floor pieces. Oop. That'll cover up these floor pieces here. And then we get to have nice door designs and other things. This will probably be like a screen or a light or something over here, or an interior block, so that'll be fine. Yeah, I like that. That looks cool. Alright, I like the piping. That turned out pretty good. We just need to figure out the side walls, but that's alright. I did a little bit of work off camera. I switched up the buttons, moved them from here to the back wall. They're now on a rotor over here. And we've got one for each floor. You know, take up a little bit more space, but now they're individual buttons. We don't have to worry about the numbering. And I've got a little bit of a plan for how to program this. So let's go ahead and start doing that. So down here, I did make a programming, well, a wall, basically, just so we can put all of our programming stuff like we normally do. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so really all we need is timers and event controllers, and then we'll need sensors at some point to put on the wall. Let's see, let's go ahead and just get started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, I know I need 6 timers for each, one for each floor. And then I need 2 timers. One for going up, and then one for going down. And then they're going to share a lot of action, so I'm going to go ahead and get another timer that can share all those actions between them. Alright, then we're going to need a couple event controllers, and a couple more event controllers. Let's see, these 2 will be for the pistons. We need one to detect when it gets full extension, one when it gets fully retracted, and then our event controller up here. Yeah, these will just be for the doors, to detect if the doors are opened or closed. And then let's get another timer in here. That timer we'll use as like a common timer for the pistons up and down, because they're going to do a lot of the same things. And I think that will do it for now. Oh no, it won't. I need to do 6 more timers that we're going to use as like accumulators for buttons. So we're just going to use it to gather a whole bunch of commands so we can use one button. Okay, there we go. I think that'll work. Now I need a control panel. Alright, there we go. I've got all my event controllers labeled. The doors are labeled. We've got our pistons. I started over here with A because that's where we put the small grid system. So all of this new stuff that we're working on here on the left is B, which kind of drives me crazy, but it's where we are. So we're going to use it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is these timers for floor 1 through 6 are just going to be... Oh, I didn't actually label the other ones. That's fine. We'll get to those other 6 later. But these ones over here on the left, we're going to do the floor. Let's go get some energy, apparently, before we get started. Maybe I should move that downstairs. Alright, so timers F1 through F6 are just going to do the set and move to each floor. So we've got the values for that. Alright, so here in F1, we're just going to do set and move our pistons. It's the 0.017. Then we're going to do a 0.5 speed. I think I had 0.4, but let's just go a little bit faster. And that is all these are going to do. They're just there to hold on to which set and move we need to go to, just so we don't have to enter in the number every time. Okay, there we go. We've got each floor now on there. These don't actually need a delay, but we'll just go ahead and drop them down. Oops, didn't mean to exit out of there. All right, so the next thing we need to do is call each one of these floors as we go. And so we're going to do that with the up and the down timer. So it depends on which way the elevator is moving. So right now it's at the bottom. So let's go ahead and set up the up timer. All right, so what it's going to do is do a call in reverse order, kind of like we did with the crane. So it's going to call floor 6. It's going to do a trigger now. And then it'll do 5, trigger now, 4, 3, and then lastly 2. It doesn't need to do 1 because it's already at that level, because it'll always be starting from the bottom when it's going up. And then the last thing it needs to do is do the moving timer. We're just going to do a trigger now on that one. Let's put it here at the end so we know it's different. And let's go into our down timer. It's going to be very similar. This time it's going to call from the bottom up. We'll do a trigger on 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Doesn't need to do 6 because it'll be at the top. And then again, it will do the moving. All right, and then the moving timer, we're just using it as like a collector of sorts, just so we don't have to do this stuff twice. So we want to be able to go into the ramp. And I think we might want to do explicit on that one. So we want it to retract. Let's see which direction that is. I think it's positive. Yeah, it's currently at a negative, so we want to give it a positive velocity. Elevator hinge, let's do a set velocity of 5. And then we can also turn on like busy lights or blinking or whatever we want to do there. And then I've also got this button rotor that I want to do something with. All right, so the buttons here are on a rotor, not only just to get it at kind of an angle, but also I don't want people pushing buttons while the elevator is moving because it might screw up the logic. So what I'm going to do is right now is at a negative velocity. We want to be able to turn it positive so it flips out of the way and you can't push a button. So we're going to go ahead and give it a positive velocity of 30 RPMs. Flips pretty fast. We're going to find that rotor. We're going to give it a positive velocity. We're going to do a set speed. There we go. And then we'll put any other warning lights or other items that we want to put in there, but we don't have any lights on the elevator yet. But that's why I wanted to put it into a single timer, and then we'll have to do it the one time. Okay, so that will handle going up and down. Right now, all of these timers are on, which isn't great. We'll have to turn them on and off for our initial conditions. But basically, we want to be able to have the buttons turn on and off which floor we want to go to. All right, next up is these event controllers. We're going to use the 0 and 100%. So we've got our... This one we want piston position percentage on both of them. This will be less than or equal to 0. All right, this one will be greater than or equal to 100. So we're going to do all 6 of our elevator B pistons. Let's put an AND gate on there. They should all be moving at the same time, but just in case. All right, and the one for 100%, we want to be able to start the timer for going up. We're going to find our elevator timer up. I think it was at the end. There we go. We're going to do a start on it. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to call the timer for stopping, because it's when it gets to the top of wherever it's going, the elevator has now stopped. So now this is just going to be another like accumulator, so we don't have to do all the actions twice. So that one we can just do as a trigger now. Okay, and then the one for 0%, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do down, timer down, we're going to start it. Go to the second page, and then timer stopped, we're going to do a trigger now. Okay, and I'm low on energy again. Let's go get more energy. Man, I do love these refill stations. They're so nice. All right, and then here in our timer stopped, let's go ahead and get some stuff going. All right, so for its actions, what we want to do is to open up the doors. I guess I didn't make a group of them, but let's just go ahead and add them all. There's only 6 doors. It's not the end of the world. We can reduce the amount of groups we have. And then we want to extend the ramp. So we have our ramp hinge, so we need to do a set velocity of -5 on this one. I'm going to flip our buttons back over. So we'll do a set velocity of -30. And then we can turn on and off lights or other things, but that's all I've got for now. So that will work. All right, and then lastly here, I want to be able to do our door opened closed. And I've got 2 of them because I think this is going to way it's going to work. There we go. Door finished opening and closing. I want to get all of our elevator doors. So if any one of them is opened, we want to do stuff. And so we're not going to use the AND gate on this one. And so the actions it's going to do is if any one of the doors are open, we want to find our elevator B pistons and we want to turn them off. And then here for the closed, we're going to do the same thing. Door open. Oops, that's not the right one. Door finished opening and closing. We want all 6 of the elevator doors. I'm going to add them. And we want the AND gate on because we want them all to be closed. And I'm hoping the AND gate works. Like, I know it doesn't work on the negative side or the not true side on a lot of the other blocks, but this one is fully open and fully closed. So I hope they're all both positive, so that it detects that all the doors are closed before it takes action. I think that's the way it's going to work, but that's the intent here. So when all of the doors close, we want to be able to turn the pistons back on. Now let's go ahead and get these timers. I didn't name them, so let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Now I've got timers for buttons 1 through 6. That'll correspond to the ones on the inside of the car. And then I think they'll work on the same on the outside of the building, but like on in the hallway, but I still got to test that. All right, so here in B1, which is the bottom floor, we want to set up its actions. We're going to go into find our timers, our floor timers. All right, so for button number 1, we just want to turn on the timer for floor number 1. And then we also want to do just the timer down. We're going to start that one because if you're at the top floor, you're only ever going to go down to the first floor. You're never going up to it. So we just need the down start. And then similar for number 6, this one is going to turn on floor 6. And this one is going to start the up timer because it's only ever going to go up to the 6th floor. Now the ones here in the middle are going to be different. So we're going to set up the actions here. We can do all of them at once, which is kind of nice. All right, so the intent of the elevator here is that when it goes up, it's just going to finish going all the way up to the top floor, and then it'll switch modes into going down. And then we're going to have the other elevator on the other side go the opposite direction. So while one's going up, the other one can go down. Trying to kind of make it a little bit more multiplayer friendly so you can hit multiple buttons, multiple floors. That's kind of the intent here, instead of copying the one that I did for the moon. So we're going to skip a space because we want to be able to turn on each individual floor timer. But we also want to make sure that we turn on the floor number 1 and floor number 6 so it continues on that journey to go to the top and the bottom. And then we also want to do our start up and our start down. And we'll make sure that one is off and the other is on so it's not trying to do up and down at the same time. And that should be it. So now let's go into individual timers here and we'll turn on their respective floors. So that one's going to turn on 2. This one will turn on 3. Now we've got to be able to have a way to turn them back off when they're not used for all of these things. So we need to do that with some sensors. So each floor here needs a sensor so we know where we're going to go. So we definitely need to weld up some of this stuff. Let's see, the elevator will be down here. So we'll make sure our sensors are right here on this gray level. So let me get some steel plate, get this guy finished up welding. And we'll put some sensors on. Alright, looks like the elevator is going to go crazy. It's going to go up and down and detect things, and it's going to trigger our timers. So I should probably go turn those off. Yep, okay, they detected things. So we need to make sure that these guys are getting turned off for now. Alright, so this one we just want, well, the front extension can come out probably just a block. Or half a meter, really. A meter's probably fine. We just need to detect subgrids. So we're not going to detect players. We're not going to make it audible. We just want subgrids. There we go. And then our top extension, let's just go up until it actually detects. Actually, you know what? I do want it actually extended out first because I want it to be able to trigger before the floor actually gets completed. So let's just put the buttons on here real quick. Let's get these guys flipped back over. Let's do this as the set and move, so that'll be the timer, our F, there we go, F1, it's your trigger now. Let's see, here we want it to be able to trigger. Let's go ahead and just copy the settings from here real quick. There we go, so it'll get into range when it triggers there, but we want it to come down into it as it comes. So yeah, I think we need to go just a little bit taller. So let's make it 2 meters for our top, so it'll hit it. And it'll hit it on the way up with the railing. I think that will be good. We'll just go ahead and copy those settings. This one's going to be sensor for floor 2. Copy all those settings, and let's go up to the other floors. Alright, so now we need to do stuff with the sensors. We may have to create additional timers for these sensors. We will see. All right, so the first thing we want to do is when it reaches its floor, it's going to turn its own timer off because it reached that floor. It doesn't need to do that anymore. So for floor 1, it's going to turn off floor 1. Go to the second page. It's also going to turn its own button off because we don't want to go to floor 1 because we're already at floor 1. So we're going to turn off B1. Actually, I think we just want to turn off the button, not the timer. So I need to label these buttons. Okay, here we go. Now I've got them labeled. So now we want to go button for level 1. We're going to go ahead and turn that one off. All right, I created 2 more timers here. We've got S1 and S6 for sensor 1 and sensor 6 because they are special and they take a lot of commands. So I don't want to keep hitting tab on each one of these ones. So let's go back into here. I guess I probably could have done it from above, but feels better looking at the actual object over there. So sensor F1, let's go ahead and go back here. Let's turn this off and let's just do sensor or S1 timer. We're just going to do a trigger now on it. And then let's go into that timer. All right, so again, it's going to turn its own timer off. It's going to turn its own button off, but then it's also going to turn all the other buttons on because now we're down at the bottom floor. We want to be able to go back up. We're going to turn every one of these other buttons back on. And the reason I have another, I think I maybe cram these on to one command, but I got another page or multiple because we're probably gonna have buttons on the outside of the, like in the hallway. So I want to be able to account for that, and I don't think I'd have enough space otherwise. Okay, and then it needs to turn its own door on. So it's going to turn the door on, not open. It just needs to turn it on. And then it would do any other lights or anything like that that we need to put on there, like indicator lights of what floor it's on. We'll probably get to that point. So that's another reason to have all that space on there. So let's find our sensor number 6. It's going to do the same thing. It's going to find, let's see, S6. Do a trigger now when it's in range. Okay, so again, it turns its own floor set and move timer off. It sets its own button off, and then turns the other ones back on, and then turns on its own door. Okay, now let's go back into those ones. We want to do some actions when it's off. So it's got all the ones that it does when it's on, or when it's in range, but when it gets out of range, we want to do some other actions. And really that's just turning off the door. So this one will turn off the door. It might turn off the light, but we're not there yet with our lighting. So we'll just do the door for now. Same with number 6. It will turn off door number 6. Okay, more sensors. So we got 2 through 5. These ones will be pretty easy in comparison. And they're going to turn off their own floor. We'll go to page 2. They're going to turn off their own button. Go to page 3. They're going to turn on and off their own door. So on, then off. And then they'll do the light again. We don't have that, so that's good. All right, there we go. I think I've got them all where they turn off their own timer, turn off their button, and then turn on and off the door as they're in range. So now we need to set up our initial conditions. So right now these doors need to be closed and off. All right, all the doors are closed and off. We need to set our initial condition, which is we're going to go up. So the up timer can be on. Down timer should be off. These guys can all be on again. And I think that should be good. Let's turn all of these guys off. All of our floors should be off. There we go. Now we need a way to flip-flop between the up and the down mode. And so I want to be able to do like an event controller that detects certain things if it's up and down with both elevators. But for now, let's just go into our sensors. Let's go into our sensor timers here. We've got our S1 and S6. We're going to do a setup action here. Let's go to page 2. So this one is for S1. And so it's when it gets down to the bottom. What we want to do is try to find our up timer. We're going to turn it on. And our down timer, we're going to turn it off. It has now reached the bottom. We don't need the down timer anymore. Then same for number 6. Our up timer gets turned off. And then our down timer gets turned on. All of these guys should be on. We have all options for the button. This guy would be turned off because we'd be in sensor range. Let's just go ahead and turn it off. Let's see, our pistons should be off, right? They are. Good. Okay, our pistons for our elevator are off because one of the doors is open. So that's detecting there. Okay, that's good. We can't select floor 1 because we're there. And then these button panels, I guess we need to change. They are not going to be doing the trigger F1. They are going to be doing the B1. And I might want to rename those timers just so it comes up on the HUD here as nice. So let's just try it. Let's go to floor 3. Now the door should close. It's not closing. Yeah, we did the ramp and it flipped the buttons, but it did not close the door. Did I not put that command in there? Okay, that should be in the moving timer. Let's check that one out. No, I did not do the doors. Okay, that would do it. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's get all of these doors closed. I probably should have just created a group. Okay, so we'll just close this one manually. And once it closes, this elevator should start to move. There we go. Turn the door off because we got out of sensor range. Passing through that one. It turns on and off the door as we go, but that's fine. Okay, we're now here at level 3. So all these buttons are off. That's good. Should wait the 10 seconds. So you got time to get on and off before it goes again. And then it goes up to the top because it'll finish out at level 6. And you can't push a button while it's in motion. That's good. It does flash the door on and off every once in a while as it goes by, but that's fine. Alright, now we're here at level 6. It's off and all the other buttons are on. And it should just chill here. No, it keeps going. Something is wrong there, that it is triggering the down timer as it goes. I'm wondering if here at the sensor on F1, if we go ahead and when it gets into range, we also stop the timer for down. Let's do the same thing for sensor number 1. So the sensor for up, the timer for up, we go ahead and stop it. Let's see if that helps. Let's go down to floor 3. We got 10 seconds to wait. This is where I probably want to put in a light that flashes to know that you've done something. I'm also thinking we may want to put a light on the button panel to know which timer is on and off. Okay, the ramp didn't go down, so we've got that going for us. Oh, it is negative. It's just not moving. We caught up on. Why has it worked on every other occasion except for this one? Maybe this just needs a little bit more torque. Let's just do that. Let's give it just a bit more torque, see if that helps. Alright, there we go. We got our button lights now. Now we need to figure out when to turn those on and off. Let's see, it's really whenever we turn on and off timers. So in our sensors, I believe we have that. So sensor for F1, I guess that would be the timer for S1. So it's turning off its F1 timer, which means we can turn off the elevator button. Okay, and then I believe in our timer for the buttons, yeah, timer B1, this is where we're turning on that timer. So we want to be able to turn that light on. There we go. Lights are off. We come in, we hit number 3. Yeah, that's fine. It turns the other 2 on. That's fine. Now it should retract the ramp here in 10 seconds. Definitely need an indicator light that it's going to get moving, and you only have 10 seconds to go. That floor is now off. Floor number 6 is still on, so it's going to go up to the top. There we go. Floor number 6 is off, so we need to be able to turn floor number 1 off then too, huh? That sensor needs to turn floor 1 off. Or maybe floor 2 also turns it off? No, because we don't want to do that, because as we pass through to go down. Alright, I think we've got the elevator to a really good point. So before I end the episode here, I want to go through an explanation of kind of how it operates. I want to make sure it worked first before I started explaining how it works. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to hit the floor. We're going to hit all of them. And what that's going to do is turn on the timers that go to that floor, and then it's also going to start the up timer. And so the up timer waits 10 seconds, and then it will trigger the up. And what it's going to try to do is go to floor 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2, or any one of the that is on. So 2 is on, and so it's going to stop here at 2. It's now available to push any other buttons. We already pushed all of them. So floor 2 is done. It's going to wait that 10 seconds. Okay, we're here at floor 3. It's going to wait another 10 seconds. You can see it turned off. So the next one in line in the up timer is floor 4, because it's trying to go 6, 5, 4. It skips 3 and 2 because they're off. So now we're here at floor 4. It turns off. So when the up timer gets triggered again, it will stop at floor 5. And how it gets triggered again is the piston gets to 100%. So every time this piston goes to a set and move and extends higher up the chain here, it resets what the 100% is. And so that event controller that's looking for 100% extension gets triggered every time we do a set and move to a higher floor. And then it does the opposite when we go down. The event controller that's detecting 0, it gets a new minimum set point. So if we go in here to our pistons, into our elevator B pistons, you can see the maximum distance is here. Our minimum distance is now 0. It's gotten reset. But if we were to sit in here and let's do floor number 4, and now we go into our pistons, it just got reset. The minimum distance is now 5.6, and it starts traveling down. Now it's actually technically trying to travel down immediately after that 10-second wait. So after the 10 seconds is when this ramp will go up and the door shuts. So when that happens, right now, it's actually trying to go down to the first floor, but the pistons are off until that door fully closes. And so that's what we use the event controller for detecting the doors closed, to make sure the doors are closed before the elevator moves. That way you're not walking into an open door. There's definitely a lot more tweaks and things that I'd like to do. There's a whole nother elevator that we need to get synced up with this one. But this episode is probably getting really long. So I'm going to go ahead and call it here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.